I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, in a family that believed in high standards, polished appearances, and always aiming higher. My parents were the type who believed that every decision you made should propel you closer to success. And because of that, I developed an unhealthy obsession with what I thought success should look like: wealth, career prestige, and social status. That's how I met Daniel Carter. Daniel wasn't the flashy type. He worked as a middle school history teacher in Cambridge. He wore worn-out brown shoes, carried a beat-up leather satchel, and drove an old pickup truck that coughed more than it ran. But Daniel had a kindness about him that instantly drew people in. He had a steady calmness, a way of looking you in the eye and making you feel like you mattered, even if you had nothing important to say. The problem? At that time in my life, I didn't think kindness was enough. We had been dating for nearly 2 years, and while Daniel loved me deeply and treated me with respect, I always had this nagging voice in my head telling me that I could do better. I'd scroll through social media and see women dating wealthy lawyers, entrepreneurs, or men who traveled the world. I convinced myself that I deserved the same. One evening, we were sitting at a small Italian restaurant near Harvard Square. Daniel reached across the table, his blue eyes warm as he said, "I can't wait to build a future with you, Emma. A home, maybe kids, a life together." I should have smiled, should have squeezed his hand back and told him I wanted the same. But instead, I blurted out words I would regret forever. "Daniel, you're just not enough for me." The hurt in his eyes that night was something I can never erase. He didn't yell, he didn't argue. He simply nodded, took a deep breath, and said quietly, "If I'm not enough for you now, Emma, I'll never be. I hope you find what you're looking for." And just like that, Daniel walked out of my life. At first, I told myself I had done the right thing. I went on dates with men who wore tailored suits and had expensive watches. I attended charity galas and corporate dinners, thinking this was the life I was meant for. But no matter who I met, no one made me laugh the way Daniel did. No one listened with the same patience or cared in the small ways he did, like carrying extra gloves in case mine ripped in winter or leaving handwritten notes in my bag. Years passed. I built a career in marketing, climbing the corporate ladder, earning a 6-figure salary, living in a modern apartment with a skyline view of Boston. To the outside world, I had it all. But inside, I was hollow. Then one Saturday morning, while grabbing coffee at a small cafe, I heard a familiar voice behind me. "Emma?" I turned and there he was. Daniel. He looked older, more mature, but still had that same calmness in his eyes. And then I saw her, his wife. A lovely woman with kind features, holding the hand of a little girl with curly brown hair and Daniel's same blue eyes. My heart sank. We chatted briefly. He introduced me to his wife, Rachel, and their daughter, Lily. He told me he was now the principal of a local school, and his eyes lit up as he talked about helping kids shape their futures. I smiled, congratulated him, and tried to keep my voice steady. When they left, I sat in that cafe for nearly an hour, staring at the steam rising from my untouched coffee. That was the moment I realized the full weight of what I had lost. I had given up a man who loved me unconditionally because I was blinded by shallow ideas of success. And now he had everything I secretly wanted: a loving family, a meaningful career, and true happiness. Over the years, I've run into Daniel a few more times. Always by chance. Always with his family. Each time he greets me kindly, like the past never scarred him. And each time, I feel a pang of regret, so deep it almost knocks the breath out of me. Because the truth is, Daniel is everything I want now, but I can never have him. He belongs to someone else, and he deserves every bit of the happiness he has built. So I carry that lesson with me. That love isn't about status or wealth. It's about the quiet, steady presence of someone who truly cares. And though I'll never have Daniel back, I'll never again make the mistake of believing someone's worth is measured by what they own, rather than who they are.